our CS, who right now we are lauding as the man who is re-establishing quality in our education, we shall go very far. I wish to let you know that our understanding of the key role of universities is to propagate a research culture and to ensure that the problems facing mankind are solved through innovative solutions, and we stand with that particular commitment. It is in this regard that we established our Institute for Cooperatives and Development. And we are playing that additional role in linking ourselves with the cooperative sector. The Institute has been proactive and is currently involved in a number of counties with whom we have signed memorandum of understanding. And already staff members are involved in funded training programs reaching all the way to the counties. In addition, sizable university budget has been set aside for research. And so I want to say that it is with this commitment that last year we launched our university journal, and our professors will be able to do research and publish their papers within that journal. It's a milestone for a young university. And so we believe that as we move on to the next big challenge, our big infrastructural project that is coming early next year, by faith we believe, our modern learning resource center that will house all the archival data of the cooperative movement, costing us a whole $2 billion. That is our plan, beginning from next year. And so in this regard, we believe that stakeholders and sponsors and development partners will stand with us. Because our library today is small, but within a few years, we do hope to have the state-of-the-art university where even international visitors can come and do research on the cooperative movement and other things in this nation. We also hope to set up an innovation center where every student in this university will be required to go through entrepreneurial training so that they can become innovators where they are right here. And so our hope, sir, is that in the next few years, our targets are for 8,000 students beginning and by the year 2019, believing that we can have by then about 300 postgraduate students. And so, distinguished guests, allow me to sincerely thank our mother university, JKUAT, for the patience in the process of nurturing us as one of their offspring. Our Professor Mebo Imbuga could not be with us here, the Vice Chancellor, but she sent her regards and best wishes. The mentorship has equipped us with the skills that we need to propel CUK to the next level. So we are fully aware that the market is looking forward to filling our university through unique products that should positively transform society. And with those words, I thank you, and let us pray together, thanking our God Almighty, believing that Kenya as a nation will impact the rest of Africa with the cooperative movement, and our university will follow on the heels to provide excellent academic training, especially to drive the cooperative sector in Kenya, the region, and Africa. And the internationals will be here to learn from us. With those words, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Chancellor, sir, and especially our chief guest for coming to be with us. May God bless you, may God bless CUK, may God bless Kenya.
Allow me now to read the speech of the Cabinet Secretary for Industrialization, Trade and Cooperatives, Honorable Aden Mohamed. The guest of honor, Cabinet Secretary for Education, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, the Chancellor, Co-operative University of Kenya, Dr. Joseph Nyaga, the Chair of the University Council, Dr. Gladys Mwiti, the Vice Chancellor, the Co-operative University of Kenya, Professor Douglas Shitanda, the Chancellors from sister universities, Vice Chancellors and Principals of universities and colleges present here today, members of the University Council, members of the University Management Boards, the Co-operative University of Kenya staff and students, leaders of the cooperative movement present here today, invited guests, the graduates and their families and friends, colleagues and members of staff and students, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. It gives me great pleasure to join you this morning on the occasion of the inauguration of the first Chancellor of the Co-operative University of Kenya and to the first graduation of the university. I wish, first of all, to take this opportunity to congratulate the Chancellor on your appointment to the family of the Co-operative University of Kenya and to the top management of the university. Your appointment was informed purely on your merit and integrity, and I am pleased to note that you have accepted to place your talent and vast experiences at the disposal of this young and fast-growing institution of higher learning now in the making. Your rich mix of professionalism from different fields and wide experiences in cooperative management and development would definitely place the institution on its rightful position and even take it to greater heights. You actually join in as a great asset in your work as you steer the development of this university to the next level. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the responsibilities that you have been asked to shoulder are enormous. However, given the blend of your enthusiasm, experience, and your willingness to serve, I have no doubt in my mind that you will contribute tremendously to the advancement of this university, as you have always done before in different capacities that you have held. We look forward to your office accomplishing what the current and subsequent councils had started towards the attainment of a fully fledged university status during their tenure. As you are aware, the need for increase in capacity and equal opportunity in higher education in Kenya today cannot be overemphasized. Access, equity, quality, and relevance are fundamental characteristics that define and drive education and training systems worldwide. Over the years, the Kenya government, through the relevant ministries, including my ministry, has vigorously expanded access to quality education and training, which offers equal opportunity to all, thereby ensuring equity. Ladies and gentlemen, in my ministry, quality cooperative education, training, and capacity development to the cooperative sector workforce has been key in the roadmap to the development agenda. Our core focus is the realization of Vision 2030, which aims at transforming the country into a newly industrializing country, newly industrializing middle-income country, providing a high quality of life to its citizens. The vision is based on 3 pillars: economic, social, and political, which are anchored on a number of factors: macroeconomic stability, continuity in governance reforms, enhanced equity and wealth creation opportunities for the poor, infrastructure, energy, science, technology and innovation, land reforms, human resource development, security reforms, and public sector reforms. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the National Industrial Transformation Program cuts out a clear roadmap whose implementation will no doubt deliver this country to the vision of to the goals of Vision 2030 and beyond. The cooperative movement is expected to play a key role in this process, in its realization in relation to poverty alleviation and employment creation, particularly for the low and middle income households. The cooperative movement in Kenya is very vibrant, cutting across all sectors of the economy. Currently, the country has more than 22,000 registered cooperative societies commanding over 14 million members. The movement has also mobilized savings in excess of Kenya shilling 600 billion and creates direct employment of more than 500,000 workers. As a matter of fact, the cooperative sector in Kenya is rated the first in Africa and 7th globally. I am convinced that the impressive performance that we see here today in the cooperative movement in Kenya is as a result of the skills and capacities that have been built over the years to the students in this great sector by this very institution. Cooperative education and training and information is one of the core mandates of the State Department of Cooperatives. Through partnerships and collaborations, the university and the State Department can do a lot to enhance the delivery of education, training, and information. I would like, therefore, to use this forum to make an appeal to the university to use its rich student resource to continuously undertake relevant research which will address the capacity gaps in the cooperative sector and the education sector as a whole. It is in this regard, therefore, that our universities, particularly the Cooperative University of Kenya, must constantly seek to provide a globally competitive quality cooperative education, training, consultancy, and research for sustainable development. The overall goal is to reduce illiteracy by increasing access to education, improving the transition rate, as well as producing relevant entrepreneurs, innovators, and researchers to meet the ever-increasing demand in cooperative development both locally and regionally. My ministry will endeavor to support this cause following the spirit of the Memorandum of Understanding, which has been signed between my ministry and the predecessor of the university on the 11th of August 2014 as a strong foundation in cooperative sector development and associated development agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to commend the Council of the Co-operative University of Kenya, as well as the management and staff for your ongoing and continuous efforts in building and raising the status of this university. The university should not only endeavor to produce high-caliber manpower for all sectors of the economy, but also provide relevant skills to mitigate regional and local circumstances. Indeed, the role of the university in the devolved government structure must be seen. I am very pleased to note that your programs focus on providing leadership on key areas of concern by the government, such as cooperative development, disaster and risk management, community development, finance, business, technology, as well as on research. The university must also work in partnership with the government in its effort to alleviate poverty, retain social services values, and develop a cadre of competent, dedicated, and professional graduates to fit in the various public and private sectors, especially the cooperative sectors. To the graduates, a big congratulations. You have done very well, and we are very proud of you. You are the pioneer graduates of this first graduation ceremony, and I am personally overjoyed to see you through your university academic journey. We join you in defining the annual calendar of this university. I know that some of you may be leaving this university to pursue various interests in life, while some of you may want to continue with higher level studies. Whatever choice you take, may I take this opportunity to welcome you to the Kenya of industrialization, innovation, and entrepreneurship development. This country has a lot of space for job creators, entrepreneurs, and innovators. You are well equipped to face whatever tasks lay ahead. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I wish the Chancellor a successful tenure in office and a wonderful day as you celebrate the achievements of our students. Thank you, and may God bless you. My Cabinet Secretary, it's my singular honor and pleasure to now officially invite Cabinet Secretary for Education, Dr. John Matiang'i, to address this distinguished congregation.
Thank you so much. Please, let's be seated. The Chancellor of the Co-operative University of Kenya, my good friend, the Honorable Joseph Nyaga, the Chancellors and other leaders from other universities present here, Professor Some, the Chief Executive Officer of the Commission for University Education, my colleagues from government, led by Principal Secretary, Minister of Industrialization, who has just spoken before me, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've had a good number of speeches this morning, so I'll be brief and specific to the point. And I hope, Mr. Chancellor, that one example that we will set from this university as we begin is that we will be a truly modern 21st century institution where we do 3 speeches and we do graduation. I am, however, delighted to be here this morning to participate in this historic occasion where we are witnessing the very first ever graduation ceremony in this institution in its now new capacity as a university. There are 4 other activities of this kind happening this morning, Mr. Chancellor, sir, but I chose to be here for several reasons, some of which I'm going to say. The first one is that you're one of my close friends and my mentors. And secondly, because the Co-operative University of Kenya presents a unique opportunity and a unique potential. And I'm going to speak about it shortly. There is no university in this country that presents us the opportunity that this university presents us as a nation. Now, I would like us to ask ourselves the question, and colleagues who are here from the cooperative movement, it's important for you to think about it. why didn't we take away the name cooperative when we were giving this institution a charter? We could have named it something else, but we decided deliberately to leave it as the Cooperative University of Kenya because we know for sure that the cooperative movement is a critical actor in our economy, and we know that through the cooperative movement, we have a very unusual opportunity for this particular institution. Therefore, my first challenge to you, my colleagues, is that this university presents the cooperative movement an opportunity to invest in the growth of this institution. I hope, by the grace of God, as we go forward, that this will be the go-to institution in cooperative training across the globe, like going into the future. And that therefore speaks to the challenge that we face ahead of us in developing programs for this institution, that we must pay attention to the needs of our society and the needs of our context where we find ourselves, and ensure that we provide desirable, quality, relevant education, especially targeted at the cooperative sector, as it were. And I'm grateful indeed that my colleague, the PS from the Ministry of Industrialization, has just said the same, that the ministry and actors in the sector are looking to this institution to be the go-to institution for training in the cooperative movement. I take this early opportunity to congratulate you, Mr. Chancellor, sir, upon your appointment to be the pioneer chancellor of this unique institution. I thank the acting vice chancellor and the academic colleagues here who teach in this institution. I want to very sincerely thank the chairman of council and her council for their very commendable work. I have had occasion to work with Dr. Muiti in other circumstances. I know her and I respect her tremendously. I think that is where almost all the good news end, because the rest is to ask you then to face up to the challenges that we do in the higher education sector. We now must face the hard work of turning this institution to a world-class university. We know that all studies show that with the expansion of the education sector in our country, we have to expand the higher education sector. Due to free primary education and free secondary education, we have huge numbers of our children who are graduating from the basic levels of training who require tertiary and higher education training. Even with the about 86% transition that we achieved in secondary education, that is still high and probably the best in sub-Saharan Africa. We live with the challenge now of accommodating these young people who are graduating out of basic education. And we look to the universities to be, of course, the place to go. But I must hasten to emphasize that we have equally as government invested very heavily in the development of technical training in the country. Because our focus now is to ensure that we train and develop skills that are relevant to our development needs as a country. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I would like to say, therefore, that this university must avoid the temptation that your predecessor universities have fallen into of unscientific, uncontrolled, unreasonable expansion that has compromised the quality of higher education in our country. This is why we took, the government took the unprecedented step that was announced by the president of freezing the growth of universities. You have seen the challenges we face across the country. Some of our universities have expanded and opened satellite campuses that they cannot sustain even with credible quality staff. I would like to emphasize, and it's good that my good friend Professor Some is here from the Commission for University Education, that for all public universities, the sponsor of those institutions is the government. And it is our responsibility as government to approve your creation or your development of satellite campuses. I need to be very frank with you, my fellow Kenyans, and tell you this. We will not approve the establishment of any satellite campuses until we are satisfied that they are necessary, they meet the requirements of our university, and that they are going to assist us provide quality education. We must walk away from some of these bad habits we have acquired over a period of time. Secondly, I want to urge all universities in this particular respect. We look upon the governance institutions of the universities, the Office of Chancellor, and Mr. Chancellor, sir, you have powers according to the Act to run this institution. You have instruments, including visitation, to ensure that this institution runs effectively. Your office is not ceremonial. You have a serious responsibility. Likewise, we look up to the chair of council and the whole of council to provide very firm leadership when it comes to the management of our institutions. Because the governance of our institutions of higher learning has been truly wanting, and we all know it. It is very difficult to understand why a university that has got 15,000 fee-paying students is broke. It is because, let's say it plainly, corruption, mendacity, mediocrity, and incompetence in the manner in which we have run some of our institutions. We have to walk away from this. Time has come for us to be honest with one another as people who love their country and do what we are expected to do for our beloved nation. Manage our institutions sensibly and fairly. You saw recently the publication of the report that was done by NCIC about ethnicity in our universities. Only 5 of our institutions can pass master. Only 5. We cannot live this way. I'm grateful that I'm standing in an institution that can pass master when it comes to recruitment in terms of ethnicity. And I would like to encourage you that that is the path that we must walk. We must be institutions that are national, that are integrated, that respect the fact that we are a nation. We are not particular sections of this community. Therefore, Mr. Chancellor, sir, I want to urge our colleagues who are here, the Chair of Council and her team, the Acting Vice Chancellor and his team, to ensure that we uphold the proper, effective practice in the governance of this institution. And I would like to see all organs of governance work. University councils across the board, you are not helpless. You cannot stand by and say the Vice Chancellor of every university is your employee, and all leaders of this institution are your employees who must live up to what you tell them and how you guide them. So we are going to be firm as we go forward. I have, of course, requested the Commission for University Education that in the ranking of universities next year, we are going to introduce a matrix that includes an integration index to insist that universities must demonstrate a level of integration as we go forward. I am also asking the Commission for University Education that we have now to move to looking at an enrollment audit for all our universities. I am concerned, and as the person who has the responsibility to look after the education sector, I have to be very sincere with you. Some of our private institutions are doing things that we may not accept going into the future. I always ask myself this question: how can it be that every politician, because the elections are around the corner, every politician who is seeking to contest something will go into a university and fetch a certificate? Every one of them. They're going to be MCA and so on, and we have a whole lot of them going to universities for programs that are now actually becoming suspicious, even when we do not know whether they actually had university entry qualifications in the first place. I'd like universities to know this for sure. The university charter you have been given is not a lifelong license to do whatever you please. And please, let's be clear here with each other. I will not hesitate. We will take away charters from universities that are engaged in all these funny businesses. Because we have this national responsibility of protecting the quality of education for our children and for our people. You will not hurt the reputation of our education by giving degrees and certificates to people who are not qualified to have them. So I think the Commission for University Education will be strengthened. And we have put budget resources to strengthen and grow that institution so that the regulatory functions are done effectively, so that universities do the right thing as we go forward. And most importantly, so that we can protect the image of our country, and the credibility of our education sector. And the vices that we deal with at the lower levels of education, including examination cheating, we know too they happen in universities. We have seen an emergent industry of consultant students, people who write dissertations for others. And I'm asking the Commission for University Education to clamp down hard on plagiarism, cheating in universities, and suspect conduct of graduate programs. Because how can it be that we have so many institutions that are offering MBA programs? We need to test the credibility of those programs and insist that we want nothing but quality in our education system. That is how we will develop this country. We will not accept shortcuts, whether they are happening in the lower levels of education or they're happening in the higher levels of education. And therefore, it's important for us as responsible people to do responsible things. I want to end my remarks by assuring the Co-operative University of Kenya of our support. Under the DUC arrangement, we will look at your students and we will allocate resources to you as we go forward. We are thinking as government of expanding the World Bank's African Centers of Excellency program, because that's what other African countries have done. We were fortunate that 3 of our universities won the program. We are looking for resources to expand the African Centers of Excellence program. And quite frankly, I am looking at young universities such as this to be the basis of beginning probably a new tradition of quality education and a new tradition of developing how we move forward. And since your area is unique and you are in a field that is going to be sought after across the globe, it is important for us also to put our money where our mouth is. So we will continue to work together to ensure that we support you as you move forward on this. I hope, Mr. Chancellor, sir, that you will soon, if there doesn't exist, establish an office of regulatory compliance in this institution, because we've been asking universities to establish an office of regulatory compliance so that you are guided effectively on the demands of the Universities Act, on the demands of the Commission for University Education Act, on the demands of other agencies that we have signed up to. We are very active members of the Inter-University Council of East Africa. We are very respected members of the African Association of Universities. We are very respected members of the Commonwealth Association of Universities, and we do not want to hurt our reputation. We want our institutions to ensure that as they work and as they develop programs, we conform and we enjoy our respect in those institutions as a country that operates within global standards in the provision of higher education as we go forward. I congratulate the graduates for your achievement and wish you well as you move on to participate in the development of our great country. I thank the parents and the guardians who have supported our young people who are graduating today, and thank the faculty who have worked hard to produce the graduates that we are having today. I wish you all the best, and by the grace of God, let's all remain focused, committed, and dedicated to enhance the education of our country as a people who love their nation, because this is the way we can best develop our country. May God bless you.
We now have the joy and honor of inviting our pioneer chancellor to address us.
Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, and all other district guests, friends, colleagues who are with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great occasion as we celebrate the first graduation ceremony as the new Co-operative University of Kenya. I'm truly proud and elated to preside over this historic occasion we have all yearned for all these years. To the graduates, we celebrate you today. You are the reason why we are here. I congratulate you for your efforts in school from the lower levels to the end for the conferment of various degrees and awards of diplomas and certificates. Congratulations once again. You've allowed us to shape your careers. Thank you for choosing the university. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate this charter that was issued by the President, allow me to again say thank you to all those who have contributed to making this institution a great success. And there are many people, many institutions, from the Council to the Commission of University Education to the cooperative movement, many. I thank you. I thank you for all that you've done for us. The award of the charter brings many other challenges, and we've had the challenges that the guest of honor has talked about. We at the university will do our very best to address those challenges, Waziri, that you've talked about, in addition to the ones that we face at the university. We have plans to commence a modern learning resource center, among other key projects that we are undertaking under our strategic plan, and key policy documents of our university. All those things that we intend are contained in those documents. In the next 2 years, the projects and many more should be completed in order to cater for the increasing number of students that are coming into our university. We know the history of this university. I don't have to repeat that. We are aware. And the university students who are graduating today are joining a group of alumni, people who are performing in many sectors in our country. I support the comments by the Cabinet Secretary. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Co-operative University. I'm happy, Cabinet Secretary, to report there are serious discussions and arrangements that are going on between the cooperative movement and the university. And we look forward to the outcome of those discussions, because as you've told us, you've allowed us to have the name, and yet you provided all the other facilities. So we will be working closely, as has already started and as clearly indicated by the presence of Cooperative Alliance of Kenya at this particular function this morning. The challenge, therefore, is for all of us to work together to making a success. Ladies and gentlemen, as we release this group of graduates, all we can do is to wish them great success. We've done our best to bake them, and they are ready now to be absorbed in this great country of ours. Historically, the employers, particularly for the corporate movement, have been happy, have benefited from the graduates that we've produced. We now ask the corporate movement to please continue employing these young ladies and gentlemen that we are releasing to you today. With those few remarks, now that I've sought and tried to get jobs for my students, I wish to conclude by thanking everybody who has participated in this. Everybody has made a success, and I said earlier on, I look forward to working very closely with yourselves, and I will be working closely with the council. I'll be working closely with the management and everybody, so that the challenge of we, the institution, becoming the global institution that we've been told to become by the minister, it does in fact happen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, now I call upon the Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs to invite the deans of schools, directors, to present the graduates for the award of certificates and diplomas and conferment of the degrees of the Co-operative University of Kenya.
I now call upon the deans of schools to present graduates for the award of certificates of the Co-operative University of Kenya. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following 26 graduates who during the 2015-2016 academic year satisfied the school board and the Senate of the Co-operative University of Kenya for the award of certificates in the School of Cooperatives and Community Development. Certificate in Cooperative Management. Credits: Abisi, Kemboi, Kangede, Cherono, Kamau, Kaberia, Miano, Mutueta, Muriumbi, Riungu, Mejuma, Solehe, Wanyonyi, Pass, Maganga, Koech, Mudoni, Gituma, Kombo, Wafula, Kawira, Kirobi, Mohammed, Mudamia, Mude. Certificate of Cooperative Administration, Credits, Gatumbi.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following 85 graduates who during the 2015-2016 academic year satisfied the school board and the Senate of the Co-operative University of Kenya for the award of certificates in the School of Business and Economics. Certificate in Business Management. Distinction: Elias Wanjara Wekesa, Feza Abdul Isaac, John Manyasi, Mtudu Daniel Matide, Muchira Grace Wawira, Mona Beatrice, Muturi Patricia Mukami, Arudai Reida Mutunga, Otiande Ruse Adiambo. Credits: Abdallah, Abdul Hadi, Ahmed Muhammad, Ahmed Alima, Bete, Dair, Diba, Esther, Christas, Elda, Jabkemoi, Judith, Kani, Karanja, Kevin, Kenoti, Kenwa, Kirago, Casimir, Manga, Mere, Madeli, Wana, Mitai, Mohammed, Mugera, Moku, Munene, Mulioki, Mustafa, Muduri, Mutuko Catherine Binya, Mutuko Consolata Nzula, Wabaka, Gara, Nyamai, Obale, Otieno, Patrobas, Samson, Sarah, Shem, Wamalwa, Wajiko Heavily Mudoni, Wajiko Nazo Wajiro, Wawero. Pass: Barak, Faith, Gideon, Jiro, Mohammed, Wakoi, Netia, Olo. Next, we have certificates in purchasing and supplies management. Distinction: Shalagat Grandis, Jiri Kelly Joki, Odette Rivian Akinyi. Credits: Abdi Asa Hussein, Abdi Rahman Harias, Abielo Hamed, Bede, Derek, Chebet, Ilimo, Jane, Kache, Kano, Katkei, Kingiri, Kisaka, Mohammed, Mutari, Mwamuye, Tombula, Odhiambo, Omondi, Ogeri, Paris, Tabitha, Washira. Pass: Abdurrahman, Haji, Isaac, Echambi, Mwachaze, Osman.
On the powers conferred by the Universities Act number 42 of 2012, section 38, subsection 1, and the Co-operative University of Kenya Statute 26, and having satisfied the University Senate in all subjects for which you are enrolled, trained and examined, it gives me great pleasure to award you certificates of the Co-operative University of Kenya. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I now call upon the Dean, School of Cooperatives and Community Development, Dean, School of Business and Economics, and the Director, Directorate of Computing and E-Learning to present graduates for the award of diplomas of the Co-operative University of Kenya. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the following 322 graduates who during the 2015-2016 academic year satisfied the school board and the Senate of the Co-operative University of Kenya for the award of diplomas in the School of Cooperatives and Community Development. Diploma in Cooperative Management, distinction, Benjamin Esther Mwaka, Indago Wycliffe Iziru, John Cyrus Chomba, Joy Karimi Karani, Karani Herbert Oscar, Mitei Korir Edith, Moenga O Duncan, Murugu Joan Kajuju, Nekesa Sylvia Nyongesa, Nyatera Cleophas Nyamabo, Koech Eric Owino, Ondabu Matilda Nyamocha, Walimia Emmanuel, Wambui Brenda, Were Rhoda Jerry. Credits: Adongo, Aete, Ajiambo, Akumu, Mbeti, Mora Otara, Asena, Baraio, Bonareri, Bozoni, Chebeti Daisy, Chebeti Natalia, Chege, Chelangat Brenda, Chelangat Joan, Chemtai Picoti, Chemtai Vivian, Chepkemoi Janet, Chepkemoi Winnie, Chepkorui, Chepkoech, Chepkorir, Chepgelo Naomi, Chepgelo Winnie, Cherotich Clara, Cherotich Teresia, Chesir, Chirchir, Choge, Danyuku, Dixon Kipkomoi, Elizabeth Kemuto, Ochieng, Masheti, Mudoni, Gesabo, Gishari, Gichogi, Mogutu, Gitari, Gidinchi, Gitonga Betty, Gitonga Kennedy, Gituma Caroline, Gituma Hilliam, Inyanya, Ireni, Irungu, Inaspas, Isanpak, Mwandiki, Wairimu, Jebete Purity, Jebeti Olivia, Maina, Makena, Juma, Kaberia, Kadza, Kahumbi, Kahuro, Kairu, Karimi, Kariuki Lucy, Kariuki Mohin, Kaubiria, Kendi, Keter, Kiage, Kibet, Kibichi, Kibidu, Kiigi, Kilachi Caroline, Kilachi, sorry, repetition, Kimani, Kimari, Kimathi, Kimemia, Kinyanjui Eunice, Kinyanjui Pauline, Kinywa, Kiplagat, Kipto, Kirangi Angelica, Kirangi Cecilia, Kirera, Kirinya, Kirui, Kirunguru, Kisina, Kisinga, Kiti, Kitsao, Koech, Kumu, Kuria, Kirui, Kusia, Langat, Mukami, Chepkerui, Mudoni, Mabiru, Maende, Mahat, Maina Christabel, Maina Joseph, Maina Mary, Maina Stephen, Maina Vicky, Maina Wallace, Mambo, Mamet, Mariga, Mudoni Njao, Akinyi, Wamunyu, Omoke, Mbae, Okindo, Midamo, Masi, Morogo, Mwange, Mueni, Mugambi Lorin, Mugambi Ene, Mugambi Rebecca, Mugo, Muhanshi, Muhia, Muiruri, Mukonyani, Mulinge, Mumbi, Munene, Mugai, Murithi Jackson, Murithi Emily, Muriuki, Muriungi, Musyoka, Mutai Daisy, Mutai Gideon, Mutai Kipono, Muhati, Mudhanshe, Mudhi, Mutua, Mutuota, Mutwita, Mwangeka, Mwangi Ida, Mwangi Miriam, Mwangi Teresia, Mwanjirani, Mwaura, Mwawingwa, Mwenda Dennis, Mwendwa Evelyn, Mwirigi, Mwise, Mwongeli, Nasirumbi, Nderitu, Nduva, Ngari, Ngema, Ngetich, Nginya, Ngugi, Njao, Jerry Sylvia, Jerry Yvonne, Njoki Kariuki, Njoki Mary, Joroge, Njue, Mudhambi, Ndinyari, Nyaga Adija, Nyaga Lucy, Nyaga Rael, Nyatiga, Nyagudhi, Nyale, Nyokabi, Odhiambo, Oduya, Oeri, Okenyo, Omweri, Ondara,